tuning into BaisWave.
You're listening to the Now Network, a BaisWave series following Bachelor of International Studies alumni to explore the wide range of career paths they've taken since graduating. Today we'll be speaking with Leo de Wolf, who now works for Lupa Aircraft Models.
My name is Leo de Wolf. I'm 32, and I'm a proud international studies alum. Graduated in 2018, started in 2014, so that's already 7 years ago, and that makes me feel old. But, happy to pass on my quote-unquote wisdom to future generations.
So how would you overall describe your experience, both socially and academically, in the IS program?
Well, academically, I think it's a very broad program, both theoretically and practical. If you compare it to other university courses, such as law, such as math, I think it has a perfect balance of theory and practice. And that really helps you in navigating your future career moves as well. Well, for me, I think. Socially, I think that's maybe even a greater asset because you get to interact with so many people from different cultures, from different countries, backgrounds. And I lived in Leiden in a house with 20 guys, and everyone did law. And they basically were just sitting in a classroom with an all Dutch audience, whereas I got to, speak, interact, and learn from people from Ecuador, from Israel, from the United States, from Australia. So I think both the social and academic side is so powerful that, it lays down a pretty solid foundation.
What area study did you do, and what language did you do along with it?
I did North America, the region, with a sidestep to French language. North America because I always had this weird fascination for the United States, and I think you're from the United States.
I am, yes.
Every book I read when I was a little kid was either U.S. politics, U.S. economics, or some political figure. So that obsession actually didn't fade away after graduating. So I went to Boston to do my master's in international business. And I actually wanted to stay in America to just work there as well, because there was always a goal or an aim I had. But the problem was Trump was in office at that time. And it was getting pretty xenophobic towards, foreign students having to, opt for a visa and everything. So I decided to go back to Amsterdam and start my career there. But it's still something that's in the back of my head when, moving forward, I want to move abroad one more time. And if possible, I want to go to the States.
What did you end up doing with your fifth semester? Some students do an internship or a minor or study abroad.
Yeah, so I did my study abroad there was like a summer school. So I went to Shandong in China. So that was actually, I think, an affiliate partner of Leiden University. So I already did my summer school there. So I thought, okay, I want to stay in Leiden. And I chose China studies, Chinese economics, Chinese culture, and all that stuff. Basically what I did for America, for North America during my bachelor, I did in my minor for China. Because apart from the United States, I always had an obsession with China. My end thesis was about the US-China trade barriers. So it was a nice mix, coming back from China, from Shandong, traveling to Shanghai, to Beijing, and meeting a lot of people from different cultures as well. A lot of Israeli people were there in Shandong. So all these partner universities, and then doing China studies as a minor. That was actually a quite nice link up. So yeah, that was my fifth semester, and I absolutely loved it.
When you were doing your bachelor's, how were you thinking about your future career, and how did you end up deciding what you wanted to do afterward?
During my bachelor's, I had zero clue of what I wanted to do. I think that goes for basically every student when they're 18, 19 and having to choose a path. My aim was to choose a broad package of skills. So I didn't want to choose one specific path. So that's why, having both the economic sense, the political sense, but also the cultural courses with international studies led me to keep, an open vision for 3 or for 4 years, actually. And then afterwards it was pretty easy to make a more aimed decision towards international business, what I did in Boston, my master's. So it was actually the decision for international studies was for me to postpone my actual decision on what I wanted to do with my future career. And that's why I think international studies is so helpful, because it does give you a sense of, aim, but in the end, it keeps your options open. And that's really cool.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. There's so many options. So what is your position now, and how do you feel like the IS, if at all, prepared you for it?
After I came back from Boston, I started working at ABN AMRO. I did a management traineeship over there, flying all over the world. It was just what I expected I wanted to do when I was younger. International studies was helpful for helping those clients, for understanding their cultures as well. And last January, I switched. I quit my job over there and I joined the family business, which is manufacturing skill models for the aviation industry. If you walk on an international airport such as Schiphol or such as Boston Logan, you see all these branded aircraft models on the display, and we make those actually. So basically every aircraft that you've seen flying, we have those models and we sell it to airlines, to big leasing companies, for display.
Wow. Could you give us a typical day in the life, just briefly, of your current position?
Yeah, so right now I'm head of commercial within a company. So my aim is ABC, always be closing. I gotta, get those clients to come to us. I travel a lot. I go to air shows worldwide. We just came back from Dubai. There was an air show last week over there. We go to London a lot, Paris air show, and Singapore is in February next year. So I'm at high altitude most of the time, visiting clients. A day-to-day in the office is we're located just below Amsterdam, and we have a big warehouse over here where we stock all of our models, but we also do some, painting ourselves, some packaging. So it's a nice little mix of having the sales perspective, but also, the hands-on, actually decorating them as well. I can't describe a typical day, but it's mostly involving, business acquisition and running around in the warehouse, being a guy who does it all.
If you were to look back on your bachelor's time at Leiden University, is there anything that you would change? And also, is there any advice that you would give to somebody who is in kind of the same position where they're not quite sure what they want to do?
I wouldn't do anything different. For me, I think, as explained, this laid the foundation for me to, grow as a person, as a global person as well, which I also, I reaped the fruits when I studied in Boston, because I already experienced the whole global classroom. Yeah, to give a tip or some direction, it would be, follow your heart. It's pretty cliche, but in the early stages, I wanted to follow what my peers and what society wanted me to do, which was basically everyone went to study, economics or law, because that gets you, a good piece of paper and gets you the salary that you want. But in the end, me choosing international studies put the framework for my future, career moves ready. Whereas I see many of my, former roommates who studied law, never using their piece of paper. No one became a lawyer, and everyone just, flies out into the world, becoming consultants. And that's a shame. It's a fancy piece of paper, but if you don't use it, I'm not saying it's 4 years wasted, but I really got to use the international studies way of thinking, and that's a tip I wanna share with the students right now. I mean, keep on following the path you think you're on. Your gut always knows what's the best for you, not the people around you. I mean, you got to choose what you want to do, not what society wants you to do. It took me a while to figure that out, but in the end, I think that's the best advice I could give to my 18-year-old self.
Great. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that'll be helpful for a lot of people to hear. Aside from that kind of advice, are there specific, it could be extracurriculars you did, it could be fun places in The Hague, things like that you would recommend for students now?
Extracurriculars. Well, I volunteered a lot at our fraternity, so which also leads to, getting to know a lot of people. I've had a lot of student jobs as well. It was a lot of fun doing valet parking at Schiphol at 4 a.m. in the morning. I mean, going out and just meeting as many people as you like. That's for me the way to grow personally, but also in a business sense. I mean, I'm in sales, so I need to, be able to resonate with a lot of people from different cultures, different backgrounds, different, society. So yeah, just go out there and don't stay in your room watching Netflix. I would say go out there and just, have fun in The Hague. I mean, I lived in Leiden and I studied in The Hague, so most of my fun time was in Leiden, of course. But of course, The Hague has so much to offer and it's so much fun. You're close to the beach. I mean, go out there and just enjoy yourself for 3-4 years. I mean, studying, it's the most exciting time of your life. You have zero responsibilities apart from the occasional midterm every now and then. But it's such a formative years, and yeah, if I could do it over again, exactly the same.
Well, that's good. And then lastly, do you have a favorite memory from your time at Leiden doing the International Studies program?
Ooh, a favorite memory of the International Studies program?
I mean, either one. It could be a social memory or something to do with the bachelor.
Well, socially, of course, living in a house with 20 guys, it brings memories. Like every day is different and a lot of fun, a lot of joy, especially arriving as a guy, 18 years old with a signature dish as a sunny side up egg. I mean, I learned a lot over there and I can't really, squeeze it into one memory. But in the end, the whole studying experience, which for me with the masters, afterwards was so amazing that I would recommend it to anyone. The practicing, what's the last course called?
The practicing international studies, that consultancy.
Exactly, yes. With Sarita Kunji Bihari. She was our mentor. I don't know if she's with the course still or not.
I actually don't know.
You'll get there. But she was very helpful and we had this amazing presentation in the end and it was just a group effort. So that was the most fun class I had because it really packs everything from the first 2.5 years together and it puts you on the spot for like a couple months where you have to interact with your peers but also really collaborate and deliver a great presentation. And that was a lot of fun. So I think that's my highlight of the International Studies course.
Great. Yeah, that was actually one of the main things that drew me to it when I was doing my research on different study programs. I saw that when I was like, that seems really cool. Okay, well, that was all the questions we had. If you want to add anything or if you have any questions for me, feel free, but that was pretty much it from our end.
Yeah, no, good luck for the next few years. I mean, I know you're going to love it. And I think you chose the right bachelor. So thanks, Simone.
Thank you.
Good luck.